8 weeks ago, learned about this product. It's been fascinating. That's how I met these gentlemen. We had the fortune of Stephen Pedigo, the owner of OSEI, here today. We're going to let him cover this product briefly. We're going to see this presentation back here and just how quickly the product that Stephen has will help nature to do what it does on a much quicker basis. There's still some oil out there, and I think that everybody would have a lot of peace in their mind as to what can be done with it.
I do appreciate y'all inviting us here. Feel free to break in and ask me any question you want whenever. First and foremost, OSE2 is on the NCP list, and we've been on it since roughly 1989. We did a cleanup in Texas on a contained pond, a 3.5 acre pond. Texaco dumped 125 barrels of oil on there through a pipeline break. They got OSE2 on there. It removed it from the marsh grasses. It removed it from the sand. There was live grass around. It all came off of it. It stayed on the surface of the water, and it took 18 days to completely remediate the CO2 in water. But what was interesting, 30 minutes after applying OSE2, we were walking around the back side of the spill, and a snake climbed out of the oil-coated water that had OSE2 applied to it about 30 minutes before, and the oil would not stick to the snake. They had no fish kill, no bird kills, no turtles died, and obviously the snake lived. Well, when you leave it, it breaks it into little bitty particles, just like the dispersants do, only we don't put it in the water column, we leave it on the top. So
and ours can be eaten. The dispersants, if you go look at the information, what they were talking about the dispersants is they break it into little pieces so it can be eaten by microbes. There is no evidence of that whatsoever. We have a final end result test that ours is actually broken up and it's eaten by the bacteria that we enhance.
The enzymes clog up the nozzle. I mean, they grow.
Notice I'm doing this barehanded too. I'm not afraid to touch the product.
This is kind of oversimplified, but for a while we had a 747 ready to apply it out on the Gulf. Had they just given us the word, and we can get him back here if we need him. But we've written contingencies to BP as far as using crop dusters in marshes, using airboats in real shallow areas, shallow water vessels and deep water vessels. On a ship or a vessel, a lot of them have induction systems. So you just stick one hose in the water, one hose in OSE2, set it at 2% and spray. And it's literally that simple.
Now, do you notice that the smell is going away on this side?
Yep.
Well, when you're on this side, it's hard to tell.
That's why
You're still smelling. You're smelling that one.
And this is mixed 50 to 1, so it's 2%.
What was the reply from BP when you submitted this suggestion to them?
Well, BP actually asked for it. BP has sent us, I mean, we're in talks with them. I've talked with Dudley several times. They were supposed to finish a review up of, they sent us a letter and said, we're in priority 3, highest priority. They said, very few things will get to priority 3. And I talked to Greg Hussman, one of their lead guys, last Tuesday. They were supposed to finish up their review Friday and then get with us this week. So I'm waiting to hear from them because we're assuming the next step is demonstration because that's what they told us. So they've reviewed us and passed us forward for demonstration. DEQ has reviewed us twice, and DEQ is really upset with the EPA because they've made 3 formal requests for the use of OSE2 on this spill, and they've denied them. And I think
that's Louisiana DEQ.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure I have a meeting with DEQ, Senator Crow. The letter you saw from Senator Galat, Senator Crow sent the same letter to Region 6 for the request and use of OSE2. So Senator Crow, Thursday, myself, DEQ, and the Attorney General are going to meet and talk about the aspects of moving forward without EPA.
Now this is this is Gulf water. And the necessity for that is to have the natural bacteria, indigenous bacteria.
$32.
That's about $20 million of beach commercial going on there.
How clear that water is.
We can go, we'll go put it back.
That's good.
Okay.
Hasn't the damage already been done?
Pardon?
The core exit,
That's all-
hasn't the
that's all
damage
fishing
already been done?
Well, it has, and you know, I hate to say anything, but the thing's still leaking. And they're still putting dispersants out there.
I know, that's what I mean by damage.
But, you know, if they will quit using it
I
and
don't
just
un-
switch over to something reasonable,
Right, why,
then you can alleviate the whole problem. But, I mean, based
Now-
on how much they spilled, even with our product and the way we can ramp up our manufacturing process, it'd take us 8 weeks to get full tilt. And then you're still looking at about 120 days to remediate all the oil they've spilled, which y'all are doing a lot of that, or at least a lot of the coastlines are, by cleaning up all the tar.
This is actually now wax. There's really no oil left in here. So what you have down here is sand and wax, paraffin wax, which a lot of oil that comes out of the ground is basically paraffin wax. And you feel the grittiness, that's the sand in it, and that's just a waxy feel. But if you notice, there's not really a viscous, if you will, feel to it. So it's going to pull most of the stuff out. It's in the process of pulling things out. And now it's not, like he said, it's not a silver bullet. It's not a magic bullet. It's a biological
It
process.
takes about 30 minutes to really get into the molecular structure and start breaking it down.
See, the smell's gone.
I'll say on my hands either.
You see, if you get something that has a little bit on it, you can get some on your fingers. Well, that's not sticking. It's starting to get off. You see if you touch that right there.
How about this right here?
Yeah, go ahead and touch that. I just stuck my finger in that, and that's in the process of going away.
nasty.
Y'all want to come take a look here? Because this
Nasty
this
looking.
may be kind of freaky looking if you haven't seen this before.
That's what the
If y'all
marsh
wanna
looks
come
like.
gather around and take a look what this is going to do whenever we hit the sheen.
That's what the marsh looks like in
Yeah,
Louisiana.
y'all come on down here.
Look at
Come,
the sheen.
enjoy the sights and the smells of the oil here. Tell me when y'all ready.
Don't get down the sweater.
What, spray your sweater first. You got
No, no. Nice knowing you, Kat.
That's not enough to treat what we put in there, but I want you to see what it does with that little bit of a spray. The sheen across the middle is gone. What it's starting to do is starting to break it up and partition it into little pieces.
It looks like Dawn dishwasher.
Yep.
Dishwasher's
The
dirty
difference is the Dawn will not make it go away. You don't have an end result. The Dawn is just a surface washing.
So could
Actually,
they be,
Dawn is more toxic than OSC2.
I was going to ask, could they use this on animals?
Yes.
Oh, yeah, during the
What's the
Valdez
bird?
spill, now they did, in Seattle, Washington, they cleaned up sea lions with OSC2.
Why didn't they use it on the animals?
We offered, I offered to give them something, and they never took me up on it.
It's
In
not
fact, I
approved.
gave a lot of product to
Actually, it is. It's
a
actually
bunch
only
of
approved
fishermen
place.
in Louisiana. I said, look, if you see an animal or something, or your boat gets oil on it, you pull it out and clean it up. And they did.
And I was telling, I don't know if all of y'all heard, but we did a cleanup. I cleaned the guy's boat before he went in the oil. And the only part of his boat that I missed was the bow, and the only part when he came back in that had oil on it was
Well,
the
it would be
bow.
like this. If you sprayed the boat, it would be like this. If you don't, it's like that.
And if you notice where I hit it right here, you can see where it actually drew into the oil. And it's going to be like just like the other one. It's going to be a process. It's not going to magically take it off the wall.
It takes a little time for the, and it's technically it's called the Marcellus constant. It's a mathematical equation based on the amount of surfactant and surface area of the oil, how long it takes to break it down. But it takes 15 to 30 minutes.